Greetings my friends and welcome to No Nonsense Metal Reviews. I'm George and today I'm going to be talking about the absolutely fantastic and thoroughly enjoyable new studio album from NWOBHM legends Raven. This is All Hell's Breaking Loose. Crazy artwork there, hoping it's not too glary and you can actually see what's going on because it's a very noisy cover which represents a very noisy album. This is a great album, I have to admit. Raven are one of those bands, alongside the mighty Saxon, alongside Diamond Head, Tigers of Pantang, the late great Steve Grimmett with Steve Grimmett's Grim Reaper as well. These bands that are heritage NWOBHM bands, hugely important and influential bands within that scene that have produced some absolutely incredible high quality, top-notch metal over the last decade or so, and possibly even longer. But their more recent albums, such as Thunderbolt and Carpe Diem from Saxon, we have the brilliant Coffin Train from Diamond Head. These more modern recent albums have been absolutely fantastic, just as good, if not better in some cases, controversial I know, than some of their more classic original kind of NWOBHM era material. And Raven are definitely one of those bands, because albums such as this new one, and of course from 2020 we had the rather excellent Metal City, these albums are absolutely bulldozing. This is freaking great stuff. One of these kind of bands where they don't neatly fit into the kind of pigeonhole they were thrown into either. In the case of Raven, I think it's difficult to pigeonhole them as a NWOBHM band. I know that I've said that they are part of that movement, and essentially they were at the right place at the right time to be considered a NWOBHM band. But alongside bands like Motorhead, for instance, or Venom, they don't sit comfortably within that bracket. Venom and Raven, in my opinion, are more sort of speed metal than anything. But this album is a speedy heavy metal bruiser, absolutely fantastic. The lineup consists of John Gallagher and his brother Mark Gallagher, who have been in the band throughout their career. Very reliable duo. Of course, John on lead vocals and bass guitars, and Mark Gallagher on guitars and vocals as well, backing vocals there. Then we've got Mike Heller on drums. That's sort of a caricature, if you like, on the back there of the guys, as is on the front as well. Very good musicians, all of them. Have to admit, the one thing that really stands out to me is Mark's guitar playing. That guy can shred with the best of them. Absolutely fantastic guitar solos, really crunchy, groovy, head-banging, fist-pounding riffs throughout the album. Seriously, top-notch musicianship, top-notch guitar playing there. Really fantastic. Right up there with your Brian Tatlers, with your Paul Quinn. Guys like that who are renowned for being fantastic musicians, fantastic guitarists. Certainly Mark Gallagher, a bit of an unsung hero of the guitar world. John's vocals are pretty interesting. I think that guy is a good vocalist. He's still hitting those high notes, those absolutely concerning high notes. He's right up there with the Halfords and the King Diamonds in that unbelievable high-pitched shriek. But also he's got a pretty iconic voice as well. It is pretty identifiable. He still sounds solid, decades on. Still sounds like the guy that was fronting and singing on albums like Wiped Out or Rock Until You Drop. He's still got it. He's still going good. And also the drumming is first rate as well. Can't fault Mike Heller's drumming ability. So, I'll go through the tracks here. It's not a very long album. I think it's 37 minutes long in total, so it's not overly long. It's a really good sort of comfortable length. It's the sort of album that you can just put on and enjoy as a bit of a bruising, fast-paced, speedy, heavy metal injection, if you like, it'll satisfy your need for something speedy. So we kick off with Medieval, the opening track there. Full throttle, brilliantly produced. The whole album is brilliantly produced, but it's a full throttle heavy metal punch. It's really good, decent stuff, killer riffs, really good stuff, brilliant. Then we've got Surf the Tsunami, which is a pretty epic track. One of the album highlights. There's a lot of highlights here. Kicks off with a really interesting guitar lead there. Then we've got some really melodic riffing, very speedy stuff. Kind of does remind me, I will admit, of the more recent era of Saxon, actually. And maybe that's just because I listen to Saxon a lot and I'm very familiar with the band. There's some tracks, such as Surf the Tsunami, and I believe it's Desperate Measures, that really do kind of bring Saxon, or it brings it to my mind anyway. It's kind of a little bit reminiscent of Saxon's sound. But Surf the Tsunami, brilliant one. Turn of the Screw, killer riffs there, really memorable material. Surf the Tsunami, I should mention, has a great chorus, as does the very kind of psycho All Hell's Breaking Loose. That's a bit of a mad number, I must admit. Pretty apt title for a pretty chaotic, crazy track. Then we've got The Far Side, which is a brilliant, brilliant track. A real kind of uplifting, melodic heavy metal track with one of the standout riffs of the album. Such a great, chugging, melodic riff. Absolute belter. It's the sort of track where no matter what you're doing, you kind of zone out from that and you're focusing on that music. You've got to have a little headbang along. Absolutely fantastic stuff. A real highlight as well. Desperate Measures, great one. Victory's cool. Almost a little bit of a power metal kind of edge to it. Very uplifting. Really good stuff. Brilliant, brilliant metal. Just reliable heavy metal. Then we've got Edge of the Nightmare, which is another good one. As is Invasion, which is definitely more of a speed metal track. Some killer guitar work there though. And Go for the Gold. It's fast, it's furious, it's freaking heavy metal. Absolutely stunning stuff. Start to finish, as I say, about 37 minutes long. Just brilliant. It's straight for the jugular. Good, uplifting, up-tempo, heavy metal. From a band that, let's face it, these guys have got a lot of killer material in their catalogue. A lot of good, really solid albums. Still doing it. Still going freaking strong. So if you like Saxon, if you like Diamond Head, if you like Primal Fear or Gravedigger, then Raven is certainly a band for you, certainly a band you need to hear. And All Hell's Breaking Loose, guaranteed to satisfy any Raven fans. It might be a little bit too heavy, a little bit too fast for some fans who are, say they were their first time around in the early days of the NWOBHM scene. But to be honest, I'd be surprised because this is just high quality metal. Brilliant stuff. If, as I say, if you're liking the more recent albums from bands like Saxon, from Tigers of Pantang, Diamond Head, then you're gonna enjoy this. All Hell's Breaking Loose. Check out Surf the Tsunami. Check out The Far Side. Check out Victory's Cool. Absolute standouts for me. And it's a lovely package as well. Really neat digi. This is out on Silver Lining. And it's a nice package, as I say. Crazy artwork. But Raven, they've been sticking with the crazy artwork for a little while now, so it's nothing new. Freaking awesome. Check it out. Check out Raven. Heavy metal awesomeness. Absolutely love it. What are your thoughts and opinions on this album? Is anyone else a fan? Anyone else disagree? Anyone not a fan? Anyone think it's a terrible album? I'd be very, very surprised indeed. But check it out. Thanks very much for watching, my friends. Do feel free to like and subscribe. And of course, check back soon for more reviews and recommendations. Take care, my friends, and stay heavy.